Welcome, everyone. One of the best ways to prepare for the IELTS speaking test is to see it in action. That's exactly what we're doing today with this complete mock test from Spinta. As you listen, think about what the candidate does well and where they could improve. Afterwards, we'll compare notes with a full performance breakdown. Let's begin.
Good morning. My name is Mr. Khan. Can you tell me your full name, please?
Good morning. My name is Lina Ahmed. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Where are you from, Lina?
I am from a city called Chittagong in Bangladesh. It is a port city, and I grew up there near the sea. I have been lived here for 5 years, but I still go back to visit family, and sometimes help at small family business when I am free. Sorry, what I mean is I have lived here for 5 years.
Right. Do you live with your family now?
Yes, I live with my parents and my younger brother. My brother, he is studying engineering, and my mother, she used to work at school, but now she is retired. We all close and we try to have dinner together most evenings, though sometimes work make it difficult.
Okay. Tell me about your home. What is it like?
We live in a small apartment on the 4th floor. It has 2 bedrooms, 1 small balcony, and a modest kitchen. I like the balcony because you can see the river and sometimes there is breeze in evening. The apartment is not very new and sometimes pipes have problems, so we repair things often, but it is comfortable for us and it is close to my office and markets, which is very convenient.
How long have you been living there?
We moved there about 7 years ago when my father, he changed his job. So it's quite long now, and I know neighbors well, and there is small garden where children play. I think we will stay there for some more years until we can buy house in countryside maybe.
Now I want to ask about work or study. Do you work or are you a student?
I work as teacher in a language institute. I teach English to adults and young learners. I enjoy teaching because it makes me feel useful, I can see progress, and I meet many different people every day. Sometimes it is tiring, but I like the atmosphere and I plan to do training courses to improve my teaching soon.
Why did you choose to work as a teacher?
When I was child, my favorite teacher inspired me and made me love learning, and I think that influenced my choice. Also, teaching is flexible, and it gives me chance to try different methods and meet people from different backgrounds. I am quite patient person and I like helping others, so teaching fits me.
Can you give an example of a memorable moment at work?
Yes. One time a quiet student who was shy at beginning, after 6 months he started to speak confidently and presented a short talk in front of class. He cried a little because he was proud, and his family sent message to say thank you. Moments like that make teaching very rewarding for me.
Right. Let's move on to hobbies. What do you do in your free time?
In my free time I like to listen to music, I read books, and sometimes I cook. I am very interested about music, especially old film songs and some contemporary acoustic artists. Listening to music helps me to relax, and sometimes I try to learn songs on guitar, though I am not very good yet.
What kind of books do you read?
I mostly read novels and non-fiction about history and personal development. I like novels with strong characters and descriptive settings because they help me imagine different lives. I usually read in the evening, maybe 1 hour before sleep, and I have been an avid reader since I was child.
How often do you exercise or do sport?
I try to walk every morning for about 30 minutes, and weekend I sometimes go to gym or do yoga at home. Not too regular, but I am trying to be more consistent because teaching sometimes make me sit a lot, and I feel better when I move.
Now about daily routine. What is a typical day like for you?
A typical work day, I wake early, make tea, do quick exercises, and prepare lessons. I go to institute by bus and teach morning and afternoon classes with short breaks. After work, I check emails, prepare next day's materials, and sometimes tutor one student in evening. I try to cook dinner and spend time with family. Weekends are different. I meet friends or visit market, and sometimes we go to relatives.
How has your routine changed over time?
When I was a student, my routine was study heavy and social life more active. After starting work, I had to organize my time more strictly. Now I try to balance work and rest, and recently I started to plan weekly activities so I don't feel overwhelmed. It was hard in first years, but now I manage better.
What are your future plans? Any goals for next 5 years?
In next 5 years, I hope to complete a diploma in TESOL and maybe move to a bigger city for more opportunities. I want to improve my English further and perhaps open my own small tutoring center. Personally, I would like to travel to neighboring countries and learn about different teaching methods to bring new ideas back home.
Why do you want to move to a bigger city?
Because larger city will have more students, more workshops and chances to collaborate with other professionals. It is also easier to find advanced courses there. But I also feel attached to my hometown and family, so it is not certain I will move permanently.
Thank you. Let's move on to part 2. I will give you a topic card, and you have 1 minute to prepare. You will then speak for 2 to 3 minutes. Here is your topic. Describe a place you enjoyed visiting. You should say where the place is, what you did there, who you went with, and explain why you enjoyed it. You have 1 minute to prepare.
Okay, I will talk about a small island called Saint Martin which is in the bay not far from Chittagong. I visited it 2 summers ago with my family. We went by ferry early in morning, and the crossing took about 1 hour with cool wind. The island is famous for its coral beach and small stalls selling fresh fish and handmade souvenirs. We walked along shore, collected shells, and my brother he tried snorkeling. He was excited, though his mask leaked a little. I remember sitting on rocks looking at turquoise water and feeling calm. The food there was simple but tasty, mostly grilled fish with rice and coconut chutney. In evenings, local musicians played songs and people danced. It felt lively but also peaceful because there are no cars and lights are few. I enjoyed it because it was escape from city noise, and I could spend time with family without internet distractions. Also, I like nature and sea, so the colors and smell of the ocean made me happy. There was small guest house with friendly owner who served fresh juice and told us about island history. I felt connected to simple life and learned to appreciate small things. The trip also reminded me of childhood trips with my mother. She used to take me to beach every weekends. Overall, it was a relaxing and memorable visit, and I hope to return when time allows.
Right. You mentioned snorkeling. What was that like for your brother?
He was nervous first, but after few minutes he could see colorful fishes and small corals. He was laughing and pointing things. He said it was funny and amazing. Later he insisted to go again, though his mask had problem at beginning. Seeing his excitement made the trip more joyful for all of us.
How did that visit change the way you think about travel?
It made me prefer slower travel where you stay longer in one place and immerse in local life rather than rushing to many places. I value simple interactions and local food more now, and I try to choose trips that allow learning about culture and nature rather than only ticking sites off list.
Thank you. Now part 3. We'll discuss travel and leisure in more general terms. Do you think people today travel more than in the past?
Yes, I think people travel more now because transport is easier and cheaper and information about destinations is available online. Also, work patterns changed and many people can take short breaks or remote work, so they combine travel and work. In past, travel was less common and mostly for rich or for migration, but now a lot of middle-class families go on holiday more frequently.
Why do you think travel is important for individuals?
Travel helps people to learn about other cultures, to relax and to gain new perspectives. It can build confidence, improve language skills and create memories. For me, travel often brings creativity and new ideas that I sometimes use in teaching, and it also strengthens relationships when you share experiences with others.
Some people say tourism harms local culture. Do you agree?
Partly yes. Tourism can benefit economy, but sometimes it leads to overdevelopment, loss of traditional crafts, or cultural performances staged only for tourists. On the other hand, if managed well, tourism can preserve heritage by providing income to artisans and encouraging restoration. It depends on policies and how local community involved.
How can local communities benefit from tourism without losing their traditions?
They can set rules about sustainable practices, control numbers of visitors in fragile sites, and promote authentic experiences run by locals. Education for tourists about customs and encouraging purchases from local makers rather than imported goods helps. If community lead initiatives, they can keep traditions alive while earning income.
Do governments have a role in promoting responsible travel?
Yes. Governments should plan infrastructure, enforce environmental laws, support local training and marketing of cultural sites responsibly. They can fund conservation and support small businesses to ensure benefits are shared. Without policy, tourism may damage environment and culture.
What effect does social media have on travel choices now?
Social media makes some places very popular quickly, sometimes leading to overcrowding. It also gives inspiration and ideas for unique experiences, but can create unrealistic expectations. People may choose destinations because of images rather than true interest, which can be both positive and negative.
Do you think people travel for different reasons now compared to previous generations?
Yes, earlier travel was often for work, pilgrimage or migration, while now leisure and self-development are common reasons. People travel for adventure, wellness, food experiences, and learning. Not only for status or necessity. But economic factors still influence who can travel.
How can education prepare people for more responsible travel?
Education can teach respect for environment and other cultures, promote language learning, and give awareness about sustainability. Schools and media should highlight ethical tourism practices and encourage volunteering or exchange programs that build understanding rather than just consumption.
Some argue travel will become less common because of climate concerns. What do you think?
I think travel will change rather than stop. People may choose slower travel, local destinations, or more eco-friendly options. Technology might offer alternatives like virtual experiences for some, but I believe the desire to see places and meet people will remain. The challenge is balancing desires with environmental responsibility.
How important is cultural sensitivity while visiting other places?
Cultural sensitivity is very important to avoid offense and to build positive relationships. Learning simple phrases, dressing appropriately, and following local customs shows respect. It also allows deeper experiences, and that helps both visitors and hosts to benefit from exchange.
Okay. That is the end of the speaking test. Thank you, Lina. You can finish now.
Thank you very much. It was nice talking to you.
The candidate demonstrated Band 6 level performance. Notable grammatical and vocabulary errors included saying I have been lived here for 5 years when it should be I have lived here for 5 years, saying I am very interested about music when it should be I am very interested in music, and saying I work as teacher in a school when it should be I work as a teacher in a school. These errors occurred occasionally throughout the test, and while they did not prevent understanding, they were systematic enough to affect accuracy. Fluency was generally good. The candidate spoke at length, used linking ideas, and natural pauses, but there were some hesitations and self-corrections such as, sorry, what I mean is, and moments of searching for words. Vocabulary range was adequate for most topics with words like sustainable, heritage, and immersive. However, there were instances of imprecise word choice such as saying funny when meaning interesting and using simple phrases instead of more exact terms. Grammatically, the candidate showed strength with simple and some complex sentence forms, but weaknesses were visible in article use, some verb forms, and occasional subject-verb agreement. The pronunciation and stress patterns were clear overall, with minor L1 influence that did not prevent comprehension. This performance aligns with Band 6 because communication was clear and coherent. The candidate developed answers in some depth and showed a reasonable range of language, but there were repeated grammatical inaccuracies and occasional inappropriate word choices that limited the accuracy. What prevented a higher band were the regular article and verb errors, plus some hesitations that disrupted smooth delivery. To reach Band 7, the candidate would need more consistent control of complex grammar, fewer basic mistakes, and a wider, more precise vocabulary with confident, natural delivery. Strengths that supported the score included the ability to speak at length with relevant examples, good organization of ideas, and effective use of discourse markers to connect points. Thank you for practicing with this IELTS speaking mock test. Visit Spinta for more comprehensive mock tests and personalized feedback to boost your IELTS score.